month that he came here, January. We'll make it Civil Rights Day, the middle of January. This is really something. I'm thrilled. It's 48 degrees, it's cloudy, and it is raining. And we need water. And the heater is on, as you can hear. And Glennie is curing the minute, so-called. Glendora versus Christine Savarino, who savagely took a chat with Glendora off of TV, was caught, was brought to court, and went fugitive. And a liar for hire named Walter Sorrock came and covered up, and then a totally incompetent, inept judge named Charles D. Wood sided with what was evil. Went against the fruit of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is goodness, righteousness, and what else? Goodness, righteousness, and he went just the opposite. Evil, wrong, and self-interest. No good wood. Yonkers City Court. And now you have to give the Yonkers City Court credit for doing something right for the first time once, and that's their settling the minutes. So let me go make a it is hereby stipulated and agreed that the transcript of proceedings in the above entitled action is correct, and certification thereof is hereby made pursuant to Uniform City Court Act 1704A. I don't think it is. I think it's 1804A. Dated plaintiff. No, I'm not going to... Honorable, I'll certainly cross that out. I'm not going to contest the minutes. I'll contest Charles D. Wood, Walter Sorrock, and Christine Savarino. Jill DeCrenza was in default, which was an un-American thing to do, and so is Officer Lewis of the police department, Peekskill. Tybot showed up and gave the evidence that Wood was looking for. She testified that Cecilia Masterilli said that Glendora was bad and that Tybot didn't know what she was getting into. And so that proved my case, that Christine Savarino and Cecilia Masterilli, her underling, chased away my signers. I had to go out and get new signers, and that cost me $5,000, and Christine Savarino is liable. And she still is. They can lie all they want. Charles D. Wood, Walter A. Sorrock, Sadly Stevens, Burke and Burke, Christine Savarino, they can lie all they want, but the truth stands. It doesn't change the facts. This is Election Day 2007, and I hope every incumbent loses, because every incumbent is a crook. Well, last night, November 5th, the animals did not like the food that I brought them from the Jacob's Well soup kitchen, free hot supper, Monday nights at Calvary Assembly of God Church. And I was The food was rained on all night. I was waiting for it to dry to get a shovel and put it into the woods as compost. But now we have a poor, hungry animal. It's 10 o'clock, Tuesday morning. Well, we will have to make sure that better food is out every day, because this animal is hungry. And last night, thank you, Art Page, you were driving. We were going south on Route 9 to the church, and there was this poor, darling baby deer, a Bambi, in the middle of the road, sort of going around not knowing what to do. Fortunately, Art, being an excellent driver, was able to avoid hitting the animal with the car. When the little baby went onto the east side of Route 9 and under the rail, and he was so tiny he didn't even have to scooch to go under the rail. I hope that his mommy is all right, and I hope he grows up and has a good, strong life. Thank you, Art. That was blessing enough for one day. I don't ask for anything more. We'll put more food out for you. I hope you are not another cat who has been dropped off. Well, we're making the affidavit of service of the minutes upon liar for hire and alleged representative Sadly Stevens, Burke and Burke. We have signed the affidavit. No, we're going to sign the affidavit that we don't have any objection to the minutes. And we are going to sign the affidavit of service upon liar for hire, but in this case he may be liar pro bono, Sadly Stevens, Burke and Burke, 230 Park Avenue, Manhattan. What did we have for dinner last night? Sloppy Joes. And whole kernel corn. And spaghetti and sauce. Ziti. Well, it's a cat. So we'll have to put out more food every day. And it will be vegetarian, vegan, cat food, or people food. And it will be tender bits, and it will be chocolates, and it will be hard kibbles, vegan. We ordered some more. It's due here by UPS. Did you see that kitty? Do you know him? He's poor kitty the way you were. I wonder where he went. And you, I don't think, saw him. And that's a good thing, because you would have made terrible noise and growling. Okay, this is all the minutes. Glendora versus Christine Savarino, Tybat Salaco, Jill DeCrenzer, and Officer Lewis, Peekskill Police Department. This is a copy to go to the alleged lawyer, Walter A. Sarok, a lawyer for hire, or in this case pro bono maybe. This is the court's originals. Has to be notarized. This is Glendora's copy, and these are forms that the Yonkers court sent. They actually did a good job on how to settle the minutes. We will call in a while to see how White Plains wants to go about settling the minutes when we do Glendora versus Sadley, Stevens, Burke and Burke, Walter A. Sarok, and Cecilia Masterilli in the Crooked Hansberry Court, White Plains. Right now we're picking out a prayer to send to them. And please pray for these people, please. This is Ephesians 5. And it says, be imitators of God, walk in love, sweet smelling aroma, that would be the honeysuckle in May. As is fitting to the saints, giving of thanks, inheritance, deceive you with empty words. That's what happened to us. You, Charles D. Wood, you, Christine Savarino, Cecilia Masterilli, Tybat Salaco, Jill DeCrenza, and Officer Lewis of the Peekskill Police Department. And for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness, righteousness, and truth. And what did they give us? Evil, and wrong. Finding out what is acceptable to the Lord. That's a good prayer to send them, isn't it? Okay. 10:15, November 6th. It's ready to post and to notarize. First of all, to post the copy to the fake Sadley, Stevens, Burke and Burke, and then go to the notary and say that I did it, and then send the copy to the court, and then our record of everything that we did. You want to see it? Well, let's see. This is the affidavit of service. They said that you served the within objections to minutes, and I don't have any objections, but they didn't give you a form for serving the minutes. Here are the minutes. $125 pages. And then I also served, I added down here the instructions for settling and the pro se settlement form and the stipulation and certification of transcript signed by me, and a blank one for Sadly, and a prayer, and an affidavit of service by mail. So that tells them everything that I sent them. I will go before the notary and declare this under penalty of perjury. And that's a copy of the affidavit of service to the fake lawyers. These are the instructions for settling the minutes. And you have to say something that the Yonkers court did it right. They did a good job. It's the first time they've ever done anything right. And here is my letter as to that effect, that you did a good job and it's the first time you ever did anything right. And you owe me $20 for the filing fee that you lost, and damages for the hours and labors you caused me to do it all over. God be with you. I'll pray for you. Here is the prayer. I told you I sent them from Ephesians 5. How do you make antifreeze? You steal her long underwear. What is this? A copy of the affidavit of service without the addenda. And what is this? Pro se settlement form. Glendora versus Christine Savarino, Tybat Salaco, Jill DeCrenzer, and Officer Lewis. I have no objections to the minutes. Please process the appeal. And this is on election day, November 6th, and I hope all incumbents lose. They are all bad. This is my signature, and that's the printing of same. And here's another form. It is hereby stipulated and agreed that the transcript of proceedings to the above entitled action is correct, and certification thereof is hereby made pursuant to Uniform City Court Act 1704A. Are there an error there? It's 1804A. And it's signed Glendora, and I sent a copy of that to Sarok, or to Sadly, Stevens, Burke, and Burt. And I added a few things to their letter. This is the Robert W. Case Justice Center. Case was a judge there. I don't know him, but I know his two sons, Timothy and Robert, and I like them very much. And it's not a justice center, folks. It's an injustice center. And I have never received justice in the Yonkers City Court. I will not be back, and I will pass on the word on 60 TV stations and on the internet, YouTube. I don't like their truncated caption. They shouldn't do that. First paper out of the court has to have the full caption. Christine Savarino, Tybat Salaco, Jill DeCrenzer, and Officer Lewis. A compact, we have sent you, the court says, a compact disc. The minutes. And the above caption case, well, your above caption is incomplete. And then it tells you all the instructions, folks. And I did all this. So as I say, their instructions are very good. And then I remind them make certain that Glendora's 12 attachments to her notice of appeal with conclusion go to the appellate term with her notice of appeal, Glendora, and a copy to Satterley. This is the log of these minutes and what was done each hour and the hours and the copying, and the whole thing comes out to $109.91 or 81 cents, and it comes out to 20 and a half hours so far. After I send Satterley, Stevens, Jerk and Jerk the copy of the minutes and all of the instructions and the papers to fill out, as I say, it can be notarized then, and then I will send Satterley, Stevens, Burke and Burke a copy of the affidavit of service. To God be the glory, great things he hath done. So loved he the world, he gave us his Son. Who offered his life an atonement for sin, and opened the life gate that all may come in. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give him the glory, great things he hath done. That's sort of a big loaf of bread, isn't it? Large pumpernickel. Two little kitty heads together eating their vegetarian tender bits with yeast on it. And our local health food store is going out of business. Oh, that is so sad. Oh. Morning, folks. We've got a little television technician here. He wants to hook up the music. Look at that face. That is the greatest face. So, we're setting up the videotape for you. A report. What is the lawsuit? Glendora versus Christine Savarino, who maliciously kept taking a chat with Glendora off of TV. And I sued her for $5,000 that she cost me. She would chase away my signers, and then I'd have to go back to the municipalities, you know, Harrison and Yonkers and all over the place in Ossining to get new signers. And it cost me money and travel. And hours and urge to do that. And so she's liable. So I started an action. What is an action? An action is a legal proceeding by which you demand and enforce right in a court of justice. Well, instead of a court of justice, I got the Yonkers City Court, and it was no good Wood. Charles D. Wood, who did a horrible job, and I'm about to demonstrate that to you. I'm going to read to you the minutes of the trial. And I have annotated those minutes. Here comes a little technician. You little TD technician. .com, you're pretty close to that wire. So 1, God's power. 2, God's joy. 3, God's perfection. 4, God's plan. 5, God's righteousness. 6, God's goodness. Well, little technician, shall we start? And so this, first of all, Arthur Duran III is acted nicely enough, but he, and I guess anybody would be, it really wasn't his fault. He was confused by the lies of Walter A. Sarra, a cheap, dirty liar for hire, and maybe in this case, because he cannot present proof of authority to represent, you would expect that a lawyer would stand up in court and tell the truth, but not this sleaze. He lies all of the time. And the reason he lies is that he has no meritorious defense against Glendora's charges. Glendora's charges are true. And his job is to go into court and